Hello, I'm Andrew Pearson, and this is my final presentation for Human Communications. So, I chose Chapter 10, Communication and Culture, to talk about. Out of the two articles that I was sent, I chose the first one, which is YouTube and Culture. So, this article is titled Culture Values and Cross Culture Video Consumption on YouTube. I chose this because I thought it would be quite interesting to find out why different countries watch other countries' videos and why some are more popular than others, such as how K pop has become extremely relevant in the US culture today and why it has blown up. I thought it'd be cool to find out why. So, the article uses the studies to support the culture proximity hypothesis that consumption reflects culture values that shape the culture as a whole. So, cultural proximity, the definition is a multi-dimensional concept most often used to explain media preferences across national boundaries. The present study extends the construct, revealing its power to explain audience formation within a multicultural society. So, in layman's terms, what that means is why we watch what we watch, why certain countries watch things and others don't. So in the article, it talks about all five dimensions of a culture, um, and they are as listed: individualism slash collectivism, uncertainty avoidance, power distance, masculinity, femininity, and long term and short term orientation. The article focuses mainly on individualism, collectivism, masculinity, and femininity. So the book defines individualism and collectivism as one of the five dimensions of variation among cultures. This refers to the extent to which members of a culture understand themselves as part of, connected to their families, groups, and cultures. And I wanted to focus on this the most because I thought it was the most interesting. So, collectivists, that sort of society, have a we identity, and individualist societies have an I identity. So collectivists are, in a for a term, are exclusionists, which means they have groups, an in group or an out group. So if you're in the out group, you're excluded from what's going on in the in group. Individualists are universalism. They have universalistic attitude towards things. So no one is in a particular group; they're their own individual self. Collectivists, the group comes first when a task is at hand, and then the task comes second. But in an individualistic society, the task comes first, and a relationship may come after. In an individualist society, it's more about getting the task done at hand rather than focusing on a relationship. In a collectivist society, a lot is known, so there is very little communication needed. Whereas in an individualist society, everything must be specific, needs to be step by step told because it is um, not for sure that someone knows everything about what you're talking about. So it has to be explained very detailed so you can understand it. So, talking about the article, the countries were measured with the individualism slash collectivism dimension. So, this can only be measured relative to other societies. There's no absolute yardstick for it to measure it. So, that means there's no absolute values. It can't just be measured with a tool or anything. So, the scores are expressed in individualism. So, the scores are 0 to 100. Scores closest to 0 mean that they are more of a collectivist society, whereas countries that are closer to 100 are more of an individualist society. So countries like the USA are very individualistic, whereas Asian countries are more collectivist. And in the book, Stella Tingtoomey says that individualists focus more on your own major profession or personal achievements rather than others, whereas she observed collectivists focus more on family, social networks, and location in a specific society rather than the identity of themselves. In conclusion, for the article that I read, there were two main points that they stated. they said that culture values are specifically associated with a culture's openness, which was measured by the YouTube videos they watched. So that was talking about how certain countries watched videos from other countries because they were popular, and in their findings, they said that countries were more likely to watch newer videos that have come out rather than old videos that are more popular, but they were more drawn to the new videos that have come out to watch. And the second point that they found is they found a new way to observe the cultural proximity hypothesis in this new age of social media. So they were able to find a new way how to study this phenomenon through YouTube videos and the statistics that YouTube uses to gain where videos are watched and why they are popular. And they didn't really talk about how YouTube acquired this data, because it is a secret logarithm, they said, that no one else knows aside from YouTube. But they used this data to collect all this information. And I thought that was quite interesting and a very good article to read. Thank you.